How you doing, everyone? My name's Dustin, and I want to give my walkaway story. So when I was young, I ran away from my house, lived with friends, got college scholarships, but I couldn't afford to live without doing something drastic, so I ended up joining the military. I joined the military to be a fireman, and I went in, showed up Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and it turned out that a fireman, a fire sports specialist, is actually a guy who walks around, is an artillery guy with the infantry, and you're there to protect them via air support, artillery, anything like that. So I was really upset with the military. I went to 82nd Airborne and ended up, when I was in the military, they didn't have wars, but if there was a war, we were there. So we went to Honduras my first year. My sister showed up on one day. The next day they saw me on TV. I was in Honduras. The next year I was supposed to go home for Christmas. I invaded Panama. I was at Manuel Noriega's house in Panama. The next year I was supposed to get out very soon, ended up getting sent to Saudi Arabia, then Iraq, and I got extended for that, and my mom had a nervous breakdown because of it, because she was so scared of her little boy. So anyway, I was upset with the government. I never liked the government, never trusted the government because they lied to me. I ended up getting out, and my life goes on. So anyway, Colin Kaepernick ended up kneeling in protest, and this is when I started, started to get involved pretty much. So he was kneeling. I fought for my country. I thought, hey, I fought for my country. You have the right to do whatever the hell you want. I fought for him. I thought, hey, it's a great platform. People are going to see it. He's standing up for his rights, and he's standing up for the African American community. And friends were disagreeing with me on Facebook, and I was like, what? He's got the freedom to do that. And I see a lot of black people getting killed by cops. It's a problem. I was upset. Every time I saw videos of an African American getting killed by a cop, I was pissed off. So anyway, I was debating guys in the military, friends of mine, and I actually went to one of my friends' house one time. We were talking about guns and gang violence and the amount of people killed by cops. And he goes, don't you know there's more white people killed by cops? And it really didn't sink in at that time. And he goes, let's talk about how much violence there is as far as death by guns. And we were going through it, and it really wasn't as bad as I thought. He was showing me some facts of how many people get killed by guns every year and how they're killed. So he was showing me those facts, and it woke me up a little bit, but not really. So I ended up going on a cross-country trip from California to Florida with a friend of mine, and we were going back and forth about this Colin Kaepernick thing. And he kept saying, more white people get killed by cops every year. And how come you never hear about the white people? And the second time this was told to me, we were still going back and forth a little bit on the drive, but it slowly sank in. I was like, wow. And then I started to get the facts, and I started doing more research of what people have done and things like that. So slowly but surely, I started to figure it out. So I started doing a lot of research because this guy who I was driving back to Florida with was very political. So I started, and I was like, the whole thing at the time I was thinking, I hope we don't have these political discussions all the time, because it was annoying. I got to admit, now I'm one of those weirdos. So anyway, that is when I woke up and not necessarily walked away from the Democratic Party, because I was never a part of a party. I didn't like the government, but I walked toward the Republican Party. And why did I walk toward the Republican Party? It's because they were the party of truth. They were the party of facts. And I learned more and more on Facebook that people were just talking about things they had no idea about and no facts. It was all feelings. So that's why I walked away from the Democratic Party. That's why I walked actually toward the Republican Party, the party that abolished slavery for the most part, the party that basically is all about facts and all about the truth. And that's what I'm about, the truth. And I'm just excited that the WalkAway campaign is as big as it is. And God bless all of you. And, I look forward to more stories. Take care.